Why, hi. Oh, thanks for that.
She's cute.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Hälsa Health Show, where we help you play at 100%. As you can tell, today is a very special episode. We're not in a clinic, we're here at Bluey's farm near Twyford, which is a livery
yard.
Thank you for clearing that up.
You're
right.
welcome.
So Giulia, who is a chiropractor at our Bracknell clinic, Dr. Giulia Ceccatelli, is going to show us around and we're going to discuss everything equine chiropractic.
Yes.
Excellent, so let's get going.
Yeah, let's go.
So first thing, Giulia,
Yes?
can you tell us how long have you been in practice for?
So I have been in human practice for 2 years,
Okay, and that's
Yeah.
at the Bracknell clinic,
and that's at the Bracknell
part
Clinic.
of the Hälsa Cape Group.
Yes.
So why chiropractic? Why did you become a chiropractor?
So I first became a chiropractor because I saw the benefit it had on them.
Yeah.
Because before I didn't know anything about chiropractic, and then we had an episode in the yard with a horse that just wouldn't bend his neck on one side, and it would just be there like, oh, come on, it's so stubborn, it doesn't want to bend its neck, I don't understand why. And the chiropractor came to the yard and it gave it a treatment, and after a couple of days I tried to bend its neck and it had full flexion on the side, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I thought that I really wanted to learn how to do that and be able to help them when they've got like pains and aches, because they can't really talk to us and tell us, oh, my neck hurts, can you please get someone to fix it? So we've got to be able to spot it.
That's amazing. So it was through horses that you learned about chiropractic, and then you studied obviously normal human chiropractic.
I do like to do one as well.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I do enjoy that.
That's
yeah.
really, really good. And now equine chiropractic.
Yes.
So you've studied, it's a 5-year program that you did.
Yeah.
And then you've now basically specialized in equine chiropractic.
Yeah, which is an extra 2 years master.
An extra 2-year master's program. And you've just finished it now, haven't you?
Yes, just finished it now. So
Excellent.
just getting ready to start.
That's
treating
fantastic
them
news.
For real, yes.
Excellent.
Amazing.
You've made it very clear why you're so interested in horses and how you got into chiropractic through that. Now, through your studies, I'm sure you've been exposed to chiropractic of other animals.
Yes.
Are you intending on working with other animals?
Yes, absolutely. So in the course that I've done, we do equine and canine. So we do dogs as well. So we learn how to treat dogs.
Hello.
We can apply that literally, they've got something to say, literally to any animal. So sometimes we find ourselves having to treat a cow or like a sheep because they might have some problem, they can't get up, or problems like that. And I've heard of people that have treated a chicken. Like
a chicken?
A show chicken, yes, because apparently it couldn't open the wings equally on both sides. So they called the chiropractor to adjust the chicken so it could open both wings at the same time and equally when it was at a show. So yeah, literally any animal. As long as it's got a spine, you can basically give it a treatment.
That's phenomenal. That really, really is phenomenal. I really like that.
So if somebody, why would somebody call you to come and have a look at their horse or their animal? Like, what symptoms would somebody look out for? What would be the indication to be treated by an equine chiropractor?
Yeah. Okay, so some indications that the animal is not happy with himself, it might be when you ride it, it starts to feel different, like as horse riders. So, for example, at the beginning, what brought me here to chiropractic was the fact that the horse couldn't bend on one side, so it would probably has some stiffness in the neck. Or sometimes they give us other symptoms like they don't want to jump, like they refuse to jump, or when you do canter, so when you go a little bit faster, they start backing, or they start like move their back a bit, or when you put the saddle on, they're not happy, they try to turn around and bite you, or when like they don't want to go forward, they're not very happy to be ridden. So these are normally like little signs that the horse is not happy. So that's when probably a horse owner should look into calling a chiropractor and get them checked, because they can't tell you, my back hurts.
Well, that makes total sense. So it's as soon as they deviate from what their normal behavior is or what you expect, it just means something is going on. And like you say, they can't verbalize that, but their physical action shows you something is going on.
Yeah, they're always telling you that something is going wrong. So you should just be able to read it with their actions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Giulia, can you tell us, how did you even get involved in the equine world? What's your story behind being involved with horses?
With horses. So I liked horses since I was a little girl. I used to play with little horses, toys instead of dolls, more than anything. And that brought my parents to bring me to an equine centre, and that was it basically. Fell in love with them, started riding when I was 5, and I never stopped. So now it's been more than 20 years that I've been riding kind of regularly. And I've been involved mainly in eventing, which is a discipline that involves 3 different things. Just be careful. And basically we've got dressage, where the horse looks pretty and it looks like you're both dancing. Another one is show jumping, when you jumps and you've got jumps, and if the horse touches them, the pole falls on the floor. And then we've got the cross country, where you've got like fixed logs, hedges, and ditches that you just jump around the cross country. And that's basically what I've been doing for a long time. And I've also represented the Italian team a few times, so I was quite good at that.
So you're an international competitor. That's amazing. That's a beautiful story. So that's really how you've now got to being able to work with them as a profession. I love it.
And then brings in how important it is because of their performance, because they're athletes, so it's important for them.
Do you find that's like one of the powerful things behind chiropractic? It's about optimizing potential and maximizing your performance.
Absolutely.
And you see that as well?
Yes, definitely. We can see a huge difference in them between before and after treatment.
Excellent. So as a chiropractor myself, one of the most interesting things in this type of world for me is, how does the treatment differ? Like, how do you even do it? How do you use chiropractic on an animal this size?
So the treatment that I use is quite gentle, is a McTimoney manipulation treatment, which is very gentle. So first of all, it's different because the anatomy of a horse is a lot different to ours. So in the neck, for example, we've got a similar amount of vertebrae, because they've got 7 cervical vertebrae, and then in the thoracic spine they've got a lot more. They've got 18 when we've got 12, and then they've got 6 lumbars when we've got 5. So that already itself is a huge difference. And for example, like the first few thoracic spine, we can't see them because the neck kind of stops here, very deep, and then it goes up and it starts with the thoracic. So we can only start adjusting from the 4th. And for example, in the shoulder, you would think like how the leg is, like the anatomy of the leg. So their elbow is here. So this one is their elbow. And that one, we call it the knee of the horse, but it's actually the wrist. So we've got all the carpal bones in here, and there is a metacarpal, and then we've got the 2 phalanges and 3 phalanges in the foot. Similar thing in the back. We've got, this one is the knee, the hip joint is in here, and then that one is our ankle. And then it goes down here. We've got the phalanges again.
So it's
at
almost
the
like they're
bottom.
walking on tippy
Yeah, they're
toes.
walking on tiptoes like that, basically.
Crazy.
Yeah, and they don't have as many fingers as us. They've
Yeah.
got one. So yeah, just the anatomy of how they are, of course, makes the treatment very
Yeah.
different to ours, and there's not much clicking.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So there's many different techniques you can use.
Yeah.
You use McTimony, which is
Yes.
very light touch.
Very
Now,
light
of course, the thing is how quick do you see a response? How do they respond to care?
So they respond very quickly. It's almost immediate, and it's very amazing to watch because they can. Well, you start doing the treatment at the beginning, they might be a bit wary because they don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But they feel a release straight away, and they start like dropping their head down and literally falling asleep. They start yawning and chewing, and these are all signs that they're feeling a release
Yeah.
in their body, and the tension goes. And then normally you give them a couple of days off because they need to like process the treatment and own the changes, and then afterwards when you go back on them you pretty much feel the changes straight away. And then of course it depends for how long they've had the problem. If it's been a chronic problem that's been going on for years, then it probably takes a little bit longer, but normally you can start feeling changes straight away.
Thank you very, very much for showing us around today and for opening our eyes to the equine world of chiropractic. And we wish you all the best for the next stage in your career as you explore this part of what chiropractic has to offer.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you the next time on the Hälsa Health Show. Bye.
Bye.